Hi, I'm Casey.
And I'm James.
Welcome to the Yanks Air Museum.
Well, since we already told you a little bit about some of the different aspects of the Wright Flyer, let's talk a little bit now about the history of the airplane. Now, contrary to popular belief, the Wright brothers were actually not the first people in history to fly. As early as the 18th century, that is the 1700s, people were already flying in hot air balloons, so you can't technically say they're the first people in history to fly. What they did is that they were the first people in history to really conceive of an efficient method of controlling an airplane once it's up in the air. That is the triple axis control, a method that's still taught to pilots today. That is roll, pitch, and yaw. Now, the Wright brothers, of course, had a rudder and they had an elevator, but they did not yet have ailerons. As we discussed earlier, the Wright Flyer did not have ailerons. It instead used wing warping to roll the airplane. A pretty primitive system by our standards today, but it was effective, and it was the first method that really allowed for the use of the triple axis control, a system that was vital to the development of aviation. Of course, the first flight took place. The first flight took place on December 17th, 1903, though it was supposed to take place 3 days before, on December 14th, 1903. On that day, the Wright brothers actually attempted to fly the airplane, and Wilbur out the controls. They had actually flipped a coin to see who was going to go first. They couldn't decide. Wilbur won the coin toss, attempted to fly, crashed it. Took them 3 days to repair it. Then on December 17th, 3 days later, Orville, now at the controls, they made the successful flight. So history was quite literally that day decided by a coin toss. So the Wright brothers really did contribute to aviation. Maybe they weren't the first people in history to technically fly, but they did allow, with their developments, they did allow the further development of the aviation. And for that reason, they really truly deserve to be remembered as pioneers. Alright guys, thank you for visiting the Yanks Air Museum.
I'm Casey.
And I'm James.
See you next time.